Coming up, does You Iowa Love Me? Find out why some students are blasting the hashtag across social media.
And later, a new food bank has opened up on campus. See why the second location will benefit students.
We hear from the Gym Hawks before their final home meet of the season.
Wait, does this mean no more Larissa Libby?
No, don't worry. We have all the Larissa Libby you could want in sports.
God bless.
We've had some rough weather this past week. Find out what's to come in weather.
All that and more is coming up on this Wednesday, February 27th edition of DITV.
So don't go anywhere. It all starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Kayla Cluck alongside Mackenzie Cooper.
Our top story today is a hashtag that's trending across social media.
The hashtag Does You Iowa Love Me started gaining traction on Twitter late Monday night. Organizers of the movement urged UI students to share their stories at 8 p.m. Monday using the hashtag. Less than 2 hours after the movement began, Twitter and Instagram were flooded with posts. Students shared concerns on sexual misconduct policies, as well as political, religious, racial, and LGBTQ discrimination. Organizers of the Does You Iowa Love Me hashtag say they are waiting to talk to any media outlets until they can make a unified statement. For more information about the movement, read Charlie Peckman's story in the Daily Iowan.
A canceled white privilege workshop is now back on the calendar. The UI rescheduled the Understanding Your Whiteness workshop following an announcement of its cancellation in January. Administrators explained the reason for the cancellation as a misunderstanding about the workshop's intent. In a statement, organizers said, quote, "This training was not about shame or guilt, but instead about raising awareness and thinking critically about personal experiences," end quote. The workshop will now be held from 9 a.m. to noon on May 17th in the University Old Capitol Center.
UISG voted to fund the First Generation Summit after weeks of debate. The approved proposal will give the summit $18,250. That is $5,000 less than a previous version of the proposal, which was vetoed last week. The second annual summit aims to support first generation students who make up 21% of the UI's first-year population.
This winter season is causing problems for local school districts. The Iowa City Community School District and Iowa City Regina have had to change their classroom schedules after missing a week and a half of school days. Starting on February 18th, ICCSD added 10 minutes to each school day, 5 in the morning and 5 at the end of the day. They will also have class on April 26th, which was originally scheduled for a teacher workday. Iowa City Regina canceled 2 of its scheduled no school days for later in the year. They've also been holding class during their 1-hour early out time on Thursdays. Both ICCSD and Regina are required to be in class for 1,080 hours an academic year, so they're hoping these schedules will help them get there. And Kaylin, I mean, they've had lots of snow days, but unfortunately we haven't been so lucky.
I know, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad we didn't have to have 5 minutes added onto our classes. But Let's toss it over to weather to get an update on what's going on with our snow situation.
Thanks, guys. Well, we are starting off this chilly Wednesday morning with some cloudy skies and the highs reaching 22 degrees during the day. Those cloudy skies are going to persist throughout the afternoon and mostly stick around for this evening. We will see partly cloudy skies and the low at 3 degrees. Moving into the rest of the week, those clouds are going to stick around for Thursday, where they will stay all day, with the high peaking at 21 and the low getting down to 7 degrees. Friday is going to be a little bit warmer, with the high getting to 31 degrees, cloudy skies all day, and then getting down to a low of 14 degrees. Now after Friday, those clouds are going to dissipate slightly for some partly cloudy skies on Saturday, but that sunshine is going to come at a price. The high drops down to a measly 18 degrees on Saturday, with the low dipping down to a -1 degree. Sunday, we're going to have the same amount of sunshine, but another drastic temperature drop, where that's going to go down to Sunday's high reaching 6 degrees and the low getting all the way down to -13. We'll wrap up this extended forecast with Monday, which is looking to have even more sun than Saturday and Sunday, but the temperature is not moving much, with the high at 7 degrees and the low at -5. Now, we don't see any snow in this upcoming forecast, which is what I think a lot of us wanted to hear, but unfortunately that drop in temperature just proves that Iowa City can't catch a break. You will need your coat next week, but hopefully we'll see some more warmth in March. Back to you guys at the desk.
Funding for the border wall is seeing continued debate in Congress. Last night, the House of Representatives passed a resolution to terminate the national emergency Trump declared to secure funding for the wall. 13 Republicans crossed the aisle, voting with Democrats to pass the measure, but Trump has already promised to veto the resolution, which received less than 2/3 vote. This comes after multiple lawmakers spoke out against Trump's emergency declaration.
The president's declaration is a phony, fraudulent, and fake national emergency. There is no crisis at the border. The president's actions are manufactured, manipulative, and represent a misappropriation of taxpayer resources inconsistent with the United States Constitution.
The resolution will now go to the Senate. It will have to be brought to the floor for a vote within the next 18 days.
President Trump and North Korea's Kim Jong-un are together this morning for their second summit. The pair had dinner in Hanoi, Vietnam earlier this morning and will be in talks throughout the rest of the day. The president is hoping to make progress in convincing Kim to abandon his nuclear program. A clear definition of denuclearization has not been established, but Kim agreed to begin taking steps during their initial meeting last summer.
The University of Iowa now has 2 food pantries on campus. The first is located in the east side, and a second location has opened up on the west side. DITV News reporter Melissa Meter has more on the story.
A food pantry just opened in the Pride Alliance Center on the west side of campus. The new location gives better accessibility to food for those students, workers, and various groups located there. Jacob Thompson, a student worker at the Pride House, explains the direct impact the pantry has on the LGBTQ community.
With having to come out, food insecurity is a big issue. Losing financial support from your parents is definitely a big issue that our community faces. And so I think that having the food pantry here at a space that people already know is welcoming and comforting to all.
The food pantry does not have any dairy or meat products, but has a wide variety of other items. Kayla Carter is the manager of the West Side Food Pantry.
Our food pantry, we're more so non-perishable items, so we have canned foods, certain fruits that can last a long time, just like starches and such, and we also do try to include allergy inclusive and like gluten-free or like anything that you need, you can find.
Reporting from the Pride Alliance Center, Melissa Meter, DITV News.
Well, Kenzie, the weather's cold, and Iowa men's basketball wasn't looking too hot last night either.
I have to agree, and it sounds like it was on and off the court. Let's toss it over to Kate and John in the sports studio with more details.
Yeah, you're certainly not wrong. Connor McCaffrey picked himself up a technical foul in Columbus, but then Fran McCaffrey came through and showed his son how it's really done.
Yeah, the men's basketball team was on the road last night to take on Ohio State, and the 21st ranked Hawkeyes fell in a rough one on the road, 90-70.
Now Iowa will be back in Carver for their final home game of the season on Saturday when they face Rutgers for Senior Day.
And the women's gymnastics team will also be in Carver for the final time this season when they face Iowa State on Friday night.
Here's what the team had to say about the seniors and the Cyhawk series.
I would say it's kind of a big meet, Cyhawk series. Obviously, want to keep it a Hawkeye nation. So I think approaching the meet the same as we always do and not putting any extra pressure on us or any added outside factors that could contribute to like the meet. I feel like that'll help us the most, treating it like it's just another meet in Carver.
It will be the last time that the Hawkeye Nation gets to see our seniors at their best. It will be difficult, I think. We try not to make it a big deal because we still have a lot of our season to go, and it's girls. Everybody's going to be emotional. We try not to even acknowledge it to the best of our ability. just because it's hard. This has been a rather impressive class.
Now, we know it's senior night for the gymnastics team, but it's also senior citizen night.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's right. The women's team took a trip to a nursing home, and they're bringing some of the friends they made with them back on Friday night.
So does that mean I get to see Betty attempt to do the vault?
No. The Hawks bringing out senior citizens for the meet is just one example of the personality and character we see within this team.
DITV sports reporter Kimberly Bates has more on the true identity of the women's gymnastics team.
Stand out. The anthem of the Gym Hawks season and something head coach Larissa Libby has always implemented on her gymnasts, both inside and outside of the gym.
It kind of plays into gymnastics a little bit with the culture in the clubs, especially because they start so young, and you have to define that in your own way for your team so they know what's important to you as a head coach, what's important in life, and what's important in terms of the direction you want to take the team.
And building young women into strong women has been one of Coach Libby's biggest challenges this season, when most of the girls are so unsure of themselves.
They're all very much alike. Very sweet, very humble, but they don't want to be seen. Also, I just think the world's in a very different place now. So there's so many people that have so much to offer and they're so ashamed to bring it out there. Or it's not okay for them to bring it out there. Who says what is okay? If that's you, then why is it not okay?
But to her, a coach's impact on young athletes is the most important responsibility she has as head gym hawk.
The impact that we have on their lives at all times. You can either crush that kid or you can make them great. And we take that responsibility seriously.
Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Kimberly Bates with DITV Sports.
And like how Larissa Libby is the fearless leader of the Gym Hawks, Ross Wilson is the same for the men's tennis team, but maybe with a little less glitter. DITV sports reporter Marissa Kraft tells us more about Ross Wilson's journey to Iowa.
Ross Wilson is a former two-time NCAA All-American and three-time ITA National Doubles Champion at Ohio State. This season marks his 6th year with the University of Iowa men's tennis program. After years of playing, Wilson couldn't think of anything he'd rather do than be a college tennis coach. He started at Kenyon College as an assistant and then worked at the University of San Diego. In 2013, Wilson began working at the University of Iowa as an assistant coach. Wilson's personal experience playing tennis offers him a competitive advantage over other coaches.
Yeah, I mean, obviously as a player, you've been there, you've felt the emotions, you've prepared. You've had the successes and the failures, so I think I'm not too far removed from that, and I think I can help the guys with that experience. And like I said earlier, it's in college tennis, it's like a partnership with the coach and the player on the court trying to accomplish one goal.
Reporting from the Hawkeye Tennis and Recreation Complex, Marissa Kraft with DITV Sports.
That's all we've got for you today. Come back tomorrow for the final regular season courtside show of the year with DITV Sports Director Lucy Rodine and reporter Declan Levy.
Kaylin and Kenzie, back to you.
And that's all we have for you on this Wednesday morning edition of DITV News.
Be sure to head over to DailyIowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday.
And if that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out the print edition of the news on stands now.
For DITV, I'm Mackenzie Cooper.
And I'm Kaylin Cluck. Have a great day, Iowa City, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Same time, same place.